Okay, so far we've covered realistic and fantasy writing as well as horror. Let's write the beginning or the introduction of a horror story about um, a guy who got lost in a park and probably in like an entertainment park, okay, like the one with games and stuff. Uh, Maybe he was like sick or something, and then um, he had to. It was a field trip with the school, and when he arrived there, he had to take a nap or something to just take some rest.
Sorry now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
but Mr.
I think we wrote about
But
this, didn't we?
Mister, before you leave, we were talking about the boy that entered the haunted house, and then the
Yeah, we can write either. Okay, let's write the one about the haunted house. Cool. All right, if you like this more. um, okay, maybe there was this haunted house in a place. We have remember we have to give some specific names. So suggest a name of a city where the abandoned house will be. Just tell me any name of any city. This is not realistic fiction, so it can be any name.
California.
Come again?
California.
California? Okay, yeah, maybe. It can be like a realistic name, or it can be a very non-realistic name, like Spookyville. Like who would know? Okay, it's just fiction. Um, okay, so because it's happening at an abandoned house, it's so easy to write just the abandoned house as a title, right? Or inside the abandoned house. Great. So there's gonna be this main character. Let's call him Max. Okay, and he's going to be an explorer who likes to explore or visit many different countries and cities. And he came to this Spookyville town to because he heard about the abandoned house, and he wanted to prove to the people of this town that this place is like just a normal house, old house, and all of their rumors about it are hoax. The word hoax means like nonsense or like a lie. So he wanted to prove it as like nothing. It's not very scary. It's not abandoned. It's not. I mean, it's not like a ghost house. Okay. Uh, since this is gonna be about a place, we can actually start by talking about the place itself, the city or the town. Um, when Max arrived at Spookyville town, when Max arrived in, we have to capitalize this, Spookyville town, the rumors of the abandoned house spread everywhere. Rumors اللي هي الإشاعات يعني. The rumors of the spirits or the ghosts of the ghost house was or were spread everywhere. Okay, so I just started by introducing the character and the setting, the place or the city where the story happens. Let's now try to explain more about him and what does he like to do to explore new places, right? We can say this by mentioning Max always loved to explore or to take the the unbeaten track, which means he likes to go into some unvisited places, okay, to explore them. Max always loved to explore or to take the unbeaten track. As much as you can, guys, try to use idioms, try to use some stronger vocabulary words that you learn at school, or that you have learned. uh, Once we start doing reading from next week, I think next Tuesday. So next Sunday is still gonna be about the writing, the nonfiction genres. But starting from next week, when we do reading, we will receive a weekly vocabulary sheet that will include all of the new words found in the past papers that we will do together. Okay, whether they are going to be as homework, whether the past papers are homework or classwork, the ones that we'll do together. I'll try to compile all of the new vocabulary words and put them in a separate sheet and send it to you guys for studying. But this is not just for studying, like for your information to just for you to know. Actually, I want you to use this kind of language in your writing. So when you have a homework assignment about writing, you'll have to employ the words that you used in the writing. Okay, so you have to always just, it's pretty easy. Just try to think that you have to like use some stronger vocabulary words, some powerful verbs. Instead of shouted, you can use yelled, maybe easier. طيب, what about bellowed? What about uh, burst? Maybe. Just try to use any variation, different variation of the simple words. Do you get me? As much as you can. Okay, so this is just the introduction. You have to now mention after this in the story that Max has heard about this ghost house, that there's a spirit that or a ghost that haunts whoever visits it, and then probably say that he wanted to prove them wrong and he decided to visit. And then you'll begin the story by entrapping the main character into the setting, into that old house. And later on, he will, like, once he stepped in and the door was shut because of the wind and stuff, maybe mention there was candlelight in one of the rooms, and when he got into that room, he noticed that the shadow of the candle light was doing some weird or eerie shapes on the wall. Okay, so try to create the illusion uh, of horror everywhere in your text. Type. Good. So we have finished so far. How many types of writing? I think 3. Now we have come to the absolute um, most interesting one of all, which is science fiction. Science fiction deals with 2 main themes. Okay, it's gonna be one of these 2 and nothing else. It's either about technology and robots or about space and aliens. Okay, so it's either one of these: technology and robots or space and aliens. Let's just write this down first. So technology space, and aliens. That's for normal science fiction. There is another subgenre of this, which is called the dystopian fiction. Dystopian fiction is a genre that is listed under the science fiction. Okay. For dystopian fiction, let me write it here, that we'll also study today. Okay. Dystopian. The word dystopia or dystopian is the opposite of utopia. Um, So we just have dystopia or dystopian fiction, but just to explain, you have to understand both. Utopia is the concept or the idea of the perfect world, where like the perfect city that everything is so perfect in it. All the people are nice to each other. Everybody works so hard for the society. Everybody takes care of the environment. Everybody is good. No evil. Everything is good. Okay. In the dystopian fiction, it's the opposite, the complete opposite. That the government controls everybody, or there's like an evil power controlling people. Okay, they just control them because they like to control people. Have you heard about the TV show or the story, The Hunger Games? It was popular, like I think recently. Have you heard about the Hunger Games before? Who here has? Nobody?
No.
Okay. Um, it was kind of like, okay, imagine that the government controls everybody in the country in the way they get dressed. Like you have to just wear white. You can't wear anything else. It's just white, or you're against the law. Okay, because light is good and it reflects the that you are peaceful, or they will try to convince you in a certain way or in different various ways. But the thing is, they just want to control you. Okay. Something else is that you can't, when you get married, you can't have more than one son or daughter, or maybe they just control. So they say the people in this town will all only conceive or have babies that are boys or girls in that city. So anything else, they will kill the baby. Maybe it's like a very pessimistic view of the future, that we're going to be controlled by robots, by technology, by aliens, by governments. So it's a very not optimistic way of the about the future. So you'd think the worst case scenario, that's gonna be the dystopian fiction. Like if there was, okay, here's another case of dystopian fiction. After a nuclear war, so the Earth, our planet Earth, is damaged, and we have to look for a different planet to live on. That's another sci-fi prompt that we can write about. Just put in your mind that you have to use um, your story has to be set in the future. So about both of them, dystopian and normal science fiction, it has to be set into the future. So your story is happening in the future. Okay? Great. Type. Let's write about this now. Let's try writing about this. Let's go ahead.
Mister,
And
I
I
want
think,
to ask a question.
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Mister, what is the homework that we have to يعني that we
To
have
do
to
today?
do?
Okay. Type. Here's how it goes. Today we'll have about 4 homework assignments, 4 types of writing, and you have to finish them before Sunday. Mr. Han will write in the group what should you do and on which day. Like for example, I think today is very late, so after you finish, you'll just go to sleep maybe or have dinner, and then head to school tomorrow. Um, Maybe tomorrow you'll start doing the first assignment, the first and the second assignment. Maybe tomorrow you'll do horror and sci-fi, and on Friday you do the other two, the realistic and fantasy stories. That's it. Okay. And when you finish them, you will send it privately to Miss Nurhan's number. She will be the one who will deal with you with the homework.
Okay. Thank you, Mister.
You're welcome. Type. Now we're going to write about when Earth is about to collide. I think you've taken this in science. Correct me if I'm wrong. That the Earth will collide with another planet, I think, or with something. Uh,
Yes, with Mars.
Earth will collide with what?
Mars.
Mars. Okay. So people had to look for a different planet to live on. So try to like imagine, okay, so this will happen probably in thousands of years, like later, okay? So now we are 1,000 years later, okay? And the collision is about to happen. It can happen anytime now because we are in the future now, okay? um, so NASA, or like you can fake another organization that sends people into space. Um, you can give it your own name, whatever it is. Ego. But you have to like make it seem like it's real somehow. So the places, okay, it's sci-fi, but it's based on future Earth, like future places that can exist later, but on our planet. Still, we're still on our planet. The story will start uh, on our planet if it's like dystopian fiction, like the one that we just discussed, but it's just in the future, okay, when bad stuff are going to happen. Okay, I don't know why do we always have this bad overview or like bad ideas about what will happen in the future, but yeah, let me write here sci-fi. All right. So we can begin by saying which year it was. Okay. So in the year 2124, maybe like 100 years later. Okay. In
Okay.
um,
Yeah.
in the year 2124, the news of the collision with another planet, with Mars, with planet Mars, was what everybody was talking about. The collision. Okay, Omar, you just mute yourself for now because there is background noise. The collision with Mars was what everybody what that was what everybody was talking about. Okay, and then you have to mention whether this story is gonna be told from the first person point of view, like you are a character in it, which probably will make more sense here. To make it seem like more realistic and more convincing, try to include yourself into that sci-fi story. So write it from the first person point of view. It's optional. You don't really have to, but uh, um, in my opinion, I think it will be more convincing that you are a part of it. Okay. طيب يلا suggest tell me how should we develop this idea in the exposition. Hmm. Ideas.
That we took it in the science session.
Yeah, I know. So you have ideas to share them. I don't actually know a lot about this. Yeah, Yahya, Omar, Atidez, Frida, just tell me what can we like do next? What do you suggest we do next? For me, I think I should talk about like because it's first person point of view. I can talk about how I too was scared, like the other people were talking about this all of the time, and I was working on my own, or I was about to finish, but fortunately, I was about to finish working on my own space shuttle, okay, spacecraft. So it's in the future, anything can happen. Okay. um, and if I hadn't um, or if I yeah, if I hadn't had uh, maybe if I hadn't maybe bought A space shuttle or spacecraft. The year before, I would be very scared, like other people too. Why is my computer lagging? Oh yeah, I'd be scared like other people too. Okay, like this is how you guys can write your own science fiction story. You have to put the two main themes in place. So use technology and robots or aliens and space. I prefer to talk about aliens and space because it's more like even more futuristic and uh, really will not happen until like very far in the future. As for the title, okay, for science fiction, I actually would wait. I will delay writing the title until I finish the rising action. So I write the exposition and the rising action first, and then I'll leave space for a title. Then I can get back to that space I left and then write the title because you would want to write something that is related to what you're writing about. So don't write about something and then talk about something else. No, actually write the beginning of the story and then go back to the story to write your own title. Okay. So yeah, your homework for writing this time will be about those four types of writing. Now we will just discuss the main features of other types of writing. We're not gonna write them, but we'll just discuss the features of them. For example, what else did we have? Yeah, mystery. Okay, for mystery, mystery stories are like detective stories, okay? Like detective ones. So it must contain a crime, right? Crime. It must contain a villain, like the bad guy. It will contain also a victim. You will reveal the crime at the end of the story. Like there's gonna be this case when maybe let's say Farida was killed. Okay, I don't know why, but maybe yeah. It's a crime. So Farida was killed, and every one of you has a motivation to do it. Maybe she bullied I'tizaz once before, so I'tizaz wanted her to pay back. مثلا. She was rude to Miss Nurhan once, so Miss Nurhan wanted to like make her pay back too. And yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
the rude one every time.
There has to be a crime anyway, okay? This is just for example purpose. Type, so people have to have, or the characters must have a motive, okay? There should be a motivation for them to do this crime, and it has to seem convincing so that the reader doesn't actually know who did it. So everybody's sus. Is a suspect. All people are sus because they all have different motivations. They all have different reasons to do it, but we don't know actually actually who did it, right? Okay, so we have to have motivations, and you have to reveal the crime or the criminal at the end. So at the end of the story, only at the end, like leave the part or like the conclusion part or like the last part, the let's say the falling action and the resolution, just to tell who the real criminal was. After all of this thinking, after all of the clues that you had, but then reveal who the criminal was. Okay, probably yeah. Okay, طيب. Great. So that's all for mystery writing. It's like a detective story. Type. the last one, adventure. Adventure stories are like a journey that the main character goes on to find like a treasure or like something important. And the adventure story should have a hero, okay? So there should be a hero which is like a more powerful version of normal people, okay? So if you can withstand to fight with like people, but the hero can fight with animals. He can fight with wild animals and he can win. So he's a hero, right? So he's smart. Your hero has to be smart with like he can do stuff fast and stronger than most normal people. Okay, this hero will be on a quest. What's a quest? Does anybody know?
A mission.
Yeah, a mission exactly. So this hero goes on a mission, which is like a quest, right? To find something, to do something, right? And then there's gonna be a lot of danger, the element of danger and risk, while he's on this quest. Okay, so there's gonna be danger and risk throughout this quest or mission for the hero. And of course, the hero will win and survive because he's the hero. Like if he dies, this you're just ruining your own story. Adventure writing is easy. It's actually the easiest. Mystery is so easy because you can just maybe for those last two, uh, because it's so like, let's say we have read a lot about it in our textbooks. You have read a lot of adventure and mystery stories before, but probably haven't read about horror a lot. Sci-fi also you haven't read about it a lot. That's why these I wanted to start with those because they are more challenging. But I think now you understand all of the features and how to start your story and how to do it quick. The most important thing here is I'm revising all of these genres now because later on when we do past papers in next week, we'll have to be quick. We'll have to do it on time by the timer. I will display a timer right here on the screen with you guys. So you have to do everything with the timing, right? Right. Tell me if you have any questions and if there is any genre that you don't understand and it's hard for you now. Is there any genre that's still hard for you, or is anything
No.
everything understood?
No.
No.
Awesome. I'm glad about this. How about you, Yahya and Omar? You guys understand everything? Do you have any questions so far?
Yeah.
All
Mr.
good?
Evans,
Yes, Omar, I can't hear you.
no, yeah, Mr. Everything is clear.
Great. Okay, I'm so glad. Right. Next time, you guys will have to turn on your cameras, all of you, including Mr. Hand also, as me.
Mister,
Okay.
no one wants to see my face, wallahi.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, I actually turned off your camera at this because you're sleeping at this. You should actually.
I swear I wasn't. I swear.
Okay, it's okay. It's just this will ensure that Mr. Han will be like checking on you guys that you are all focused, that nobody loses focus because, as you know, we don't have like a lot of time left. It's a very critical time. We actually have to try to do our best. I'm trying to do my best too, to provide you with all of the material needed. So by next time, you will have finished writing those first 4 genres that we discussed, right? Mr. Hen will send you in the group what exactly you'll need to do and when. If you have any questions, feel free to ask her or me. We're always here to help you, okay? All right. I'll see you guys next Sunday.
Okay.
All right. Bye. Bye
See
for
you.
now. See ya. Bye bye.